It is gonna look, I think, very sharp.
Okay, we're live.
Alright. Yes, it is.
Just
To
double
make sure our
check the
conversation.
streaming.
Okay, it says we're live.
Alright. Well, today's Wednesday, August 20th, and this is the Curriculum and Learning Committee meeting located at the School District of Menominee Falls, Conference Room 3344-3345, Pilgrim Road, Menominee Falls. There's a possibility that a quorum of the full membership of the Board of Education may be in attendance at board committee meetings, including virtual meetings. There'll be no full board action taken at any board committee meeting, and only members of the committee may vote on any item on the agenda. A live broadcast will be streamed on the school district YouTube page. To watch the recorded meeting, please visit the School District of Menominee Falls YouTube site. It is 5:31 p.m. and we are gonna dive right into the agenda. So number one, we have approval of the minutes.
It's been posted. Yes, the meeting was properly
Oh.
posted.
Also, sorry, it's been a long day.
It's okay.
And then approval of the agenda. Minutes. Can I get a motion to approve the minutes?
No motion.
I'm gonna abstain because I wasn't here this time.
Okay, I'll second. All those in favor? Aye. And minutes have been approved. Okay, discussion items. So yeah, we have the 2026 Fall Summer Academy dates.
So typically we bring these in October, but we have learned over time that the sooner we can get these out, the sooner staff and families can prepare. So we will still bring our Fall Summer Academy Summer School report, probably in October, which is when we usually bring it. We usually bring these two items together, but I asked Laura, who helps and does a lot of the coordinating with our summer school, to help me remember to bring these ahead of time so that we could get them on the books as soon as possible. So we're looking at running a similar schedule to what we did this past year. The calendar is a little wonky from where it's been in previous years, just with school running a little bit longer. So we go to Wednesday, June 10th. And then we would start summer school on Monday, June 22nd. Leaves about a week and a half between the end of school and the start of summer school, just so that we can get ready. It gives staff a little bit of time to prepare, and it really gives our technology department time to close out the new year and start summer school. So we do need that week in between the end of the school year and the start of summer school, which then means that our first summer session would run from the 22nd to Thursday, July 2nd. Because Friday, July 3rd is the 4th of July holiday. So it's a slightly shorter session, which is what we had to do this year too.
Sure.
Just because of how the 4th of July fell. So that's a 9-day session. And then we'll pick right up again and start on Monday, July 6th. In some years, we've been able to have a week between session 1 and session 2 for that 4th of July week, but when it doesn't fall well, it gets hard to do that because then you end up going later in July, and the later we go in July, the fewer people, the harder it is to get staff and harder it is to have students.
Sure.
So session 2 would then be July 6th to the 17th, which would be a 10-day session. So we have 19 days of total summer school for our credit recovery courses, our enrichment courses at elementary, middle. We do have some things that run outside of that, but those are kind of the big summer school dates.
Okay.
So that's what we're proposing.
Sounds good.
It's good to me.
Any questions or concerns there? All right.
We'll put this on the website, so anybody who's thinking about summer school.
Everybody is.
I almost taboo to this early.
So we like to be prepared around here, but I think that is helpful. People start planning trips, we plan farther and farther, or more and more in advance these days for those types of things, so getting things scheduled I think is helpful.
Right, and then letting staff know this is gonna be when session 1 and session 2 are, so they can plan ahead for their schedules as well.
Absolutely.
Such a short summer season, so getting ahead of it is a good idea. Thank you. Okay, next item, student engagement survey results.
Yes, so every year in the winter, we give the student engagement survey from our partners at Studer. And we always at some point bring that back. We get the survey results in the spring and schools look at it, and then I have brought them back to the committee just as an update for where we are with our student engagement survey. So that's what we have tonight. The survey asks students we give it to students in grades 1 through 12. And they generally take it at school. And it asks them a series of questions, and they need to rate on a scale of 1 to 5, either from strongly disagree to strongly agree. It also has a series of faces, so for non-readers, the teacher can, or beginning readers, the teacher can read the item aloud, and then the student can pick the face that corresponds to how they're feeling about that item. We have been using the same survey or the same wording since 2023, so we have 3 years of survey results now with that new wording. And like I said, this is part of our partnership with Studer. So.
How long is our partnership with Studer? When did we begin with them, and is there a contract?
We have a yearly contract.
Okay.
So and so we have
I
a new
always forget,
contract
I
that
think I've asked you
it started in August, and so it'll go through next July. So
Okay.
and we can be flexible with how many of the surveys, how often we want to meet, what we want that contract to look like, and how often we want them to come on site, just what we need their services for.
Yeah, and obviously looking at the student engagement is important to kind of figure, out the baseline, and like you said, 3 years of responses. So with that said, I guess you obviously find value in the reports that they're doing for us and the information that we're able to pull back and correlate that with the curriculum and
For sure,
everything else.
they are helpful. I do think that, I know the last couple of years, and we can look at the participation data, I think at times because we have done all the surveys at the same time, and only our bless you, yes, it has been a lot, and so we've had some things get lost in the shuffle, and so and we've also had some feedback, just anecdotally informal feedback that maybe we're over surveying, so we've talked a little bit about how to be more strategic with that. Maybe
Right.
there are a couple of items we wanna use
Sure.
rather than sending out the whole survey. But we did send out the survey, again, we send it to schools and they share it with their students and teachers, so they do take it here at school. And so you can see our participation changes here. And we did notice both of our overall score went down a little bit, and our participation went down a little bit. Again, I think people get busy and it's sometimes easy to forget. One of the things we noted was we had more older student participation this year and less younger student participation. And when we have more younger student participation, our score tends to be a little higher,
Sure.
which I think is just maybe sometimes how our students perceive certain aspects of school.
Right.
So
I have a question in regards to the participation,
Yeah, I think
between the schools. I
There's
mean,
one
Shady
big-
Lane is grossly an
Yes.
outlier, and then Valley View too. So if Ben Franklin and Shady Lane are obviously sister schools, and the same thing with Riverside and Valley View, what happened?
yeah, I think it just got missed and there wasn't the reminder that there needed to be. And so
I thought the teachers actually conducted it in the
They do.
classroom, right?
they do.
So is it leadership in the school that was supposed to have the teachers do it?
Yes, that's typically
Shady
how it
Lane
happens.
seems to be an outlier for many things. So I'm just saying, because it doesn't help us
Right,
to be able to do what we need to do when they drop the ball.
Yeah.
I'm just being honest.
yeah, no, I appreciate that.
I mean, 'cause Ben
We-
Franklin is a larger school and can, get that job done.
Yeah.
We'll take a look at it,
Okay.
Yeah.
we'll look into it.
I will individually.
I mean, cause I brought that up in seclusion restraint numbers too, they're a huge outlier on a couple of things. I'd
I
be
would have to
curious
agree, I noticed
to
that
see
as
what
well.
their scores are.
Yeah.
That's coming up.
And I did discuss it with the principal at the time, and I wish I had caught it sooner because I might have been able to get the survey back, but that it was too late, so. But, yeah, we do, anyway, so we've done this for a number of years, so, last year we had fewer high school responses, but that number is back to where I would, want it to be, so that was good, so. So every year I bring out just some of the bright spots that we have, in terms of the survey. We have a number of items, you can see the start items that have been bright spots in previous years. And for all 3 years of the survey, this year we had the added bright spot come back of, I believe my principal's a good leader, so these are our 5 strongest items. It always, I'm always excited to see that I believe learning is important in my school as the top item. That makes me happy, and that they feel they have opportunities to be successful, families treated nicely, and they enjoy their specials and elective time, so those are great items. And then opportunities for improvement, they typically, you can see those starred items, those are items that typically come up for us, and I've been told come up for other districts as well. So we're not necessarily an outlier in those, but feeling of belonging, school is clean. Now my personal experience is when I'm at school that I see that they're very clean. But I do see over the course of the day, there's paper on the floor and things like that. So,
Sure.
But I appreciate kids' perspective on that for sure. Feel students show respect and like going to school every day. And again, these are still strong scores. You know, they're on the positive half of the scale for sure. But of our items, they are the lowest items. So I know we
Sure.
always talk with staff about that, and they look at these scores as well as correlate them with other data that they have as far as student experience, behavior.
Opportunities to improve, improve on,
For sure.
We just need to add cleaner than my room, and then we might get that one back.
That could very well be, yes. Again, I think overall, we know our facilities department does a good job, but I appreciate that the kids are looking at that and thinking about that.
Right, aware of
Yes, how maybe
is going on and how they can.
hopefully how they can help
Yeah.
be a part of the solution to that, so.
They're definitely gonna see some, at Riverside, it'll look a lot better given that there's no construction going on. So there's a little bit with that as well, but this is something we'll address with principals in our first principal meeting in September. So I'll bring the data set up with them and make sure that we look at both the good and the opportunities for improvement, but it's good that we're in the 3s and not the 2s, the 1s or the 0s, so.
Yeah.
So we're happy about the general range of things, but we're always looking to improve things.
Yeah, and
In all respects.
I think, obviously having the students take the time to take the survey, we wanna utilize the
Absolutely.
data that we're gathering and making sure that we're acting on what needs to be looked at going forward, so.
So yeah, so the results were shared with individual schools, they have their results, and then they use that rollout process of really reviewing the survey results with their staff as well as gathering additional data to inform their next steps, and they can put that in as a part of their plans for the school year. And then our team, I did wanna note that one of the things that showed up for the first time as a opportunity for improvement was I set learning goals and track my progress. And that jumped out to me because that's been a part of our continuous improvement that's been so strong. I do know that, again, it's still a good number at 3.59, but it did show up as one of our 5 lowest. I do know that we had a lot of new curriculum last year, and so some shifts in practices as far as more direct instruction, maybe less independent reading and some of those kinds of things. So that's something that we're talking about as a team because we do lead some of that professional learning. And as we are engaging in professional learning this year around our adopted academic standards, we'll be talking about how teachers can use those standards to help students set goals. So it'll be a good opportunity to review that, just to make sure
Yeah, and I just thought it was the transition period between adopting the new curriculum, so I don't, I think that'll improve.
I think so too, that was my hunch, that we shifted some instructional practices last year and some curricular approaches, and so it didn't surprise me, but it's something we wanna pay attention to, so we'll keep working on that.
Easy enough.
Yeah, sounds good. Yeah. Okay, so next up on the agenda is we do have some agenda items coming up. And I believe our next meeting is set for September 17th.
September 17th. Does that still work?
Are there any other agenda items that we would want to add to the list of upcoming items? I'm actually interested in just seeing how the school year starts, so you know, it's in anticipation of everything coming together, and so I was at the back to school fair with my son, and very well done. All the tables there, I mean, I was at the technology table, making sure that everything was set there. Everyone was very helpful, and just a great kind of like a ramping up to getting the school year starting again. And I just think having that access to those teachers, and you know, Nikki was there for the food service, and just kind of all the aspects represented. And if parents have questions, or you know, students get back into the idea of back to school. So okay, sorry, back to.
So there's a lot going on.
There's a lot going on.
As we start the school year from
Yes.
different divisions.
Yeah, so do we have any other?
No, I think the physical education standards review and adoption is gonna take a lot of that time, right? Because I think that was what we discussed last time, that it's gonna be the new thing we're gonna have.
Correct,
Spend
that's
time on,
the
so-
new thing coming up. I don't know that they'll be ready to come in September, but could be ready in October. I know they've done some summer work, there's some August work planned again.
We're looking to do the full-time virtual option rollout soon, or at least conversations.
Well, there's definitely conversation happening. I don't anticipate, based on the conversations that Caitlin and I have had, that we'll be ready for that in September,
I know we've talked about it,
right?
we've had conversations about a pathway, it's part of our strategic plan, and it's something we're looking for the next school year. Not
Right.
this school year, not the 25-26, but the 26-27.
Correct.
Those sorts of things, you know, Ms. Riegel's put a lot of research and back work into where that's going to be going, so, and I see it on there, so. But fall doesn't necessarily mean
I
September.
think that'll be the new thing on
Right. Okay. Did you, and this is just kind of a question for, I know there was some conflicts talked about with the scheduling, did we want to meet in October? I think we have our October date set.
Yeah, I know the 17th, I'm out of town for work the whole week. So I'd have to reschedule off our typical third Wednesday,
October 2nd.
September 17th.
So our meeting after that is scheduled for October 15th. And by then we'll be well settled into the year, and I think a number of things that have happened over the summer and gotten started will be in a good place to kind of bring the next round of updates. So
We don't have anything.
Yeah.
I'm fine with it.
I mean, there's a lot of back to school stuff.
right, I think moving it to the 10th wouldn't be a good option, just with everybody getting started,
close, yeah.
so
Right, I would have
So
to
that
agree
would
with
be-
that.
would be
Well,
rough.
let's cancel the September 17th meeting then, or if you don't mind sending that out, and then we'll just plan to keep the October date and look forward to all the updates
Well,
from the
it'll
back to school.
definitely be a longer meeting, but we'll try to consolidate our time, and I think we'll have a lot of good things to share.
Okay.
That's a good idea.
Okay, that sounds good. I guess with that said, I need a motion to adjourn.
I can motion.
Second.
All right, all those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? None? Meeting is adjourned, and I cannot believe it, but it's 5:49.